Yo, what is going on, everybody? Executives here, coming at you with a quick two-handed Fury Slam Spec guide. Now, I'm just going to hop right into it. First off, we're going to start off with talents. Now, this is generally going to be for Alliance only. The reason I say that is because if you're Horde and you're two-handed Fury, you'd rather just spam Hamstring, or you have a lot more rage to spend as opposed to the amount of downtime you have as Alliance. So you could still do this as Horde, but generally this is an Alliance only thing, the improved slam. So first off, I'm going to start an arms tree. We've got improved rend, deflection, blah 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 blah. But you just want to go down to impale and then two-handed weapon specialization. Now, for me personally, I put 3 points into improved two-handed weapon specialization and 4 points into improved slam, because this increases your damage. This increases your flat damage by 1%. Now, what you would usually do is take 2 points in this and 5 points into improved slam, but I personally prefer taking 3 points into a weapon specialization, just because you're not always going to be slamming. So this is a flat damage for your Bloodthirst, Whirlwind, any ability that you use. So it's very nice. Next, we're going to go on to the Fury tree. I take points in cruelty. Now, I've messed around with Untitled Wrath versus Booming Voice, and I mean, just solo-y for raiding, Unbridled Wrath is better. Gives you 40% chance to generate an additional rage point when you deal damage with a melee. Man, I'm having a stroke. When you deal melee damage with a weapon. So this counts as slam. This counts as Bloodthirst, Whirlwind. Anytime you deal damage, you have a 40% chance to gain 1 extra rage point. Now, unless you're gonna somehow take 5 points in improved battle shout with this build, I would take Booming Voice, but otherwise Unbridled Wrath is very good. Now, next is a little bit customizable. I like to take 3 points in improved cleave. This is huge, especially because as two-handed Fury, a lot of your damage is multi-target. So you're going to be doing the cleave, you're going to be doing whirlwinds, you're going to be doing everything like that. Especially for Molten Core, I've seen myself personally do more DPS. I've significantly more DPS than a lot of these other people are using 2 one-handers, just because I've got points in improved cleave and I'm using a two-hander. So yeah, it's really cool. And then you can put a point in Piercing Howl or Blood Craze or Battle Shout. It's all personal. Next, 5 points in Rage, obviously, and then what you can do is, I'm pretty sure you can put 2 points in Improved Execute instead of a point in here. I'm not sure, but Improved Execute is very good. Death Wish, Flurry, Bloodthirst, and then obviously you want improved slam. Decreases the casting time of your slam ability by 0.4 seconds. So with 5 points in here, it's 0.5 seconds, making it a 1 second cast as opposed to a 1.1 second cast. But generally, if you have a high latency on a server, you're really not going to notice the difference. So yeah, so now I'm going to teach you about how and when to slam. So you want to slam when your auto attack has just finished. So I'll demonstrate right here. I have this add-on down here called SP Swing Timer. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But you can see when I start to swing, it's going to go green, and then right as it ends, that's when you want to slam. So I'll give you a demonstration. Let's say we're in a raid or something. Obviously you want to get your battle shot up. You want to get all of your consumables, all your parts, your elemental sharpening stone on your weapon, and everything like that. I'm going to go ahead and charge into the boss. I'd immediately Bloodthirst and maybe even put up a Sunder, just because I had a little bit extra rage to spend there. And then we're just going to start doing our damage. So your basic rotation is going to go Bloodthirst, Whirlwind, and then Slam if you have the rage for it. So I'm going to Bloodthirst, I'm going to Whirlwind, and then now I don't have any rage. I might plop a Blood Rage. And then after this, I'm going to Bloodthirst and then Slam right away. So kind of hard to explain. I'm just going to generally show the rotation instead of actually trying to commentate it. So there's a few things that you can also do with two-handed Fury that you don't necessarily do with other classes or with other specs, and that is Hamstring. So I have it on my bars over here, but it is very important that you keep Flurry up. Now the reason for that is you're always attacking 30% faster, and if Flurry falls off, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage. So even if you have to spend rage to get a crit, it is very worth it, trust me. I've had a lot of practice with two-handed Fury, and I can say that when you lose your Flurry stacks, it sucks. You're just in there waiting for your auto attack to go off, and it's not very good. But I'm going to show you like a recklessness rotation, I guess. So I've got a decent amount of stacks of Bree. I'm going to pop I'll pop my Blood Rage. I'll pop a Mighty Rage pot just to demonstrate here. So I'm gonna Bloodthirst. I'm gonna Whirlwind, and then as soon as my bar comes off of cooldown, I'm gonna slam. So right here, slam, slam. Sometimes it's poorly timed. Slam. But the thing that I'm trying to demonstrate here is you never want to cancel your auto attack. So if you slam at the beginning of an auto attack or in the middle of an auto attack, it completely ruins your rotation. Slam resets your auto attack swing, if that makes sense. So if you swing and then you slam, it's perfect, because if the swing is done, then you slam immediately, then you can swing it right again after that. But if you slam before you swing, then it's going to reset your swing timer. So I don't know, I can demonstrate like a poor slam here. So I'm going to do it like, I'm going to do slam now. Now see how much longer I had to wait there as opposed to doing at the end of a cast. So at the end of my swing timer, I can do it there and it only resets it by a little. But if I do it in the middle of a swing timer, it's just going to reset the swing timer and I'm just going to have to wait a lot longer. So yeah, that's basically your slam spec. It's the same exact thing, or very similar to one-handed fury. All you're going to do is just basically get up. You need to keep uptime on flurry. That's very important, even if you have to spam hamstring, even if you have to pop some juju flurries to get extra attack speed. It sucks when you don't have any crit. So that's why what I recommend with gear especially is you stack a lot of stats. Now, as one-handed fury, you're sacrificing a lot for hit gear. As two-handed fury, you only need 5% hit. So, you know, the more, once you get 5% hit, you're able to no longer sacrifice gear for hit. So, you know, you have 2 from the helm, 1 from the neck, 1 from the wrists, 1 from the bow. That's 4 or 5 right there, and then, you know, 5 from the rings. So every other piece of gear can now be stat dependent, meaning you can put on something like Cloak of Draconomite. You can put on Drake Talon Pauldrons because they have very good stats. So stuff like that, if that makes sense. So you want to have a lot of crit, you want to have a lot of strength, obviously, and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, guys. Just a little quick one. One of my friends requested it. If you have any questions, let me know. I didn't go into full detail about consumables and gear and stuff, but you know, generally you just want 5% hit. You want to slam at the end or at the very beginning of an action or of a swing. Keep up battle shout, pop your consumables, and then stay in battle stance if you need to switch to, stay in berserker stance, and if you need to switch to battle stance to overpower, go ahead and do so if you're below 25 rage. Yeah, I'll leave a link to a few two-handed slam spec warriors in the guide and in the description. There's a few people that I know. I think one of them name is Nars. He's actually really good. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Allow me to show you something.